Hello, welcome.
Hello.
All right, I want to see all your faces, beautiful faces. Turn your videos on, please. All right, as we wait for the others, does anybody want to share how they're doing, any updates, how they're feeling, anything they'd like to share with the group? As you can see, we have two new faces here. These are two alumni, I don't know the proper the term for that, but they basically graduated from SOAP and they are here to answer all your questions. So really grateful to have you guys here and taking your time out of your day to be here. So thank you. Thank you, Sidra and Constanza. I hope I got that right.
Perfectly.
Thank you for having us. Honestly, to me, it means a lot that I come back. I was talking to Kelsey about like being more involved. Like, soap is awesome to me. Like, just getting to constantly keep in touch with people. It's like the best.
Agreed. It's always nice to come back. I mean, I haven't been an alumni for that long. Like a week. But I guess that just makes it even better. Because I also miss it.
Awesome. I'm really glad to have you guys here. And yeah, this kind of just shows like once you're part of the SOAP community, you're part of it forever. And there are always ways to come back and help out and be a part of the community. So again, thank you so much. All right. Okay, let's get started. So basically today, and I've spoken to most of you about this, we're going to be focusing a lot on stakeholders and stakeholder groups, stakeholder videos. And what I want us to do first is a chatterfall. So let's head to the Discord, our general chat on Discord. And give me like a hey, what's up, or emoji or something so I know that you're there. Okay. All right. First thing I want to ask is, what is the number one reason somebody should use your product or service? What is the number one reason somebody should use your product and service? So for those of you who are just joining, we are in the general chat, doing Chatterfall, and the first question was the number one reason somebody should use your product or service. Again, if throughout the Chatterfall, if anybody wants to share out loud any of their answers, feel free. Next question. If people had 15 seconds to hear about your business idea, what would you show them? What kind of footage or imagery from across the world would you use to make your point? So if they only had 15 seconds to hear about your business idea or your problem in general, what would you show them? What kind of things, images, footage, what would you show them? List all the different reasons somebody would be interested in your business idea. So all the different reasons that you can think of. Again, if anybody wants to share out loud, feel free. Keep putting in your ideas. Next question. Describe the last time a YouTube video or YouTube ad caught your eye. Why did it make you stop and watch? So anytime an ad, like on YouTube or anywhere else that you see videos, sometimes we skip them, but sometimes we stop and watch. Why did that happen? When was the last time that happened and why? Mhm. Okay, next question. What are some of the questions you want people to start asking themselves to get them thinking in a direction that would get them to care about your problem? So what do you want people asking themselves so they start caring more about your problem? What do you think are good questions you want people to like think about? These are some really good ideas that are coming up. So if anybody wants to share out loud, I would love that. Yes, Henry, go ahead.
I would want the people to question themselves whether they like what they want to do with their time, and whether they want to start doing something productive that helps them in their life, rather than like wasting their time, because nowadays we are all wasting a lot of time, at least most of us. And it would be beneficial for like my platform if people would ask themselves more if they like want to spend their time doing something productive, because that's like what my platform is about. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Like thinking about, hey, am I using my time wisely? Am I being productive? Great. Yeah, awesome. Okay, good. All right, next question. What kind of feeling do you want people to feel after watching your video? So the video about your business, talking about your passion, your idea. What kind of feeling do you want to leave them with? What is one way you will make them feel worried and then relieved? Question. What is one convincing reason your company is going to change or shape the world? What is one convincing reason your business is going to shape the world? And then the last question for today's Shatterfall is, when a person walks away from using your product or business, how are they going to feel about themselves, and how will they, in turn, make the world a better place? You guys all have, these are amazing responses. So if anybody would like to share, or maybe if you found another person's response interesting, if you would like to share that, I'd love to hear your voices. Okay. Amazing, really, really good stuff. Okay, so now let's talk about the meat of today's session. These questions basically were asked because to get you thinking about how amazing your idea is and how you're going to, what your purpose is, like how you want people to feel and how like you want people to engage with your platform. So in that case, we have to talk about stakeholders. So I think I've spoken to most of you about stakeholders. I'm going to give a brief explanation, and then I'm going to have Sidra and Cassandra really get into it. So basically, what's going to happen is you're going to create a video, a 1 minute long video about your business, talking about why it's important, about why it's needed and necessary, and you're passionate about it. You're going to create this video, and that video is going to be launched into the Silk community, and people are going to watch the video and sign up to be a part of your stakeholder group. And a stakeholder group consists of maybe 3, 4, 5, 10 students, depending on how many people sign up. And you are going to kind of test out your product on them. These are your guinea pigs. These are people that you are going to basically create any type of session for, or anything you want to ask them. You are going to create a journey for these people. It's going to last about 2 weeks, and you are going to think about what it is that you want to know, what is it that you want to understand better, and what is going to help you improve your business in your prototype. And that's how you're going to structure and create your journey. Okay, so I'm going to pass it off to Sidra, who you can talk more about, the stakeholder journey, how to keep those people engaged, what kind of things, whatever you think, whatever you think they need to know about stakeholder groups. And then also you can ask if there are any questions. Start thinking about questions, take notes. These are really, really important things, amazing, insightful things that they're going to share with us. So take notes, have questions ready, and yeah, I pass it on to you, Sidra. Go ahead.
Thank you. Okay, hi everyone, I'm Cedra. So I graduated last month. So my stakeholder journey is so recent. My business idea was about solving sexism in society. And so after I made my stakeholder video, I got my stakeholders. I think I had 7 people. 2 of them were my friends. So as soon as I got my stakeholders, I put together my plan. And honestly, I put a detailed plan. It was 10 days, 10 activities. It was so detailed, and I ended up not following it. So if you put together a plan and you don't end up following it, just keep that in mind. Don't stress about that, because sometimes you gotta improvise. So after I got my stakeholder, I started texting in a group chat, and many people were engaging as I hoped they would be. So I started texting everyone personally, and I was like, hey, I'm Cedra, you joined my stakeholder group. I hope you can participate in the chats and everything. I think that when you send personalized messages to people, it makes them feel a little bit more special, because it's like you're trying to engage with them. So if you guys want to use that, I recommend that. After that, I started with a little icebreaker. I was like, okay, so share a little fun fact about you. I said my favorite TV show was The Vampire missionaries. Someone talked about how they love horseback riding. Other people talked about where they're from, and so stuff like that. It just basically like helps you get to know each other better. After everyone introduced themselves, the next day I started with my activity, and there wasn't as much engagement as I hoped it would be, and that's totally okay. Sometimes people are busy and everything. Just remember, keep that communication with them, and that personal communication really helps you. So I kept on texting people on their privates. I was like, hey, do you want to do the activity and everything? And ask people what they like. Activities that like really help you, so that for your stakeholder session, because you're going to do a meeting, like if you're going to do the meeting, it really helps you to know what kind of activities they're going to like. After that, I think I had my meeting, and I have a co-founder. So she's my friend, and we were both doing it together. I will say I embarrassed myself. So I went on the Zoom, and I didn't realize that I couldn't cut the clips. So you like, if you go onto the YouTube channel, you will see me freaking out before the meeting and after the meeting. So that's funny to watch. Just remember that if it's being recorded. At the end, it's like I'm like saying "girl" because I was like, oh my god. So just remember that. In this session, we started with, I think we did a Never Have I Ever. And it was all about like, never have I ever been dress coded, or just regular sexism instances that happen in everyday life. Not everyone was enjoying it. So we switched it. So just be ready to improvise on the spot. Sometimes you will have to improvise, and that's totally okay. Like if things don't go according to plan, please don't stress about it. Your stakeholders are there to help you make the best out of your business and test your idea. So that's okay. In the main session, in the main session, the Never Have I Ever, we switched it to regular Never Have I Evers. And I'm pretty sure you guys can go on the SOF on YouTube channel and see it. So we were just like doing fun Never Have Evers because I felt like everyone was gonna leave. After that, we went to breakout rooms, and in the breakout rooms, we started talking about actual sexism. So I had everyone share like what was a moment where you experienced sexism, and you guys could do that. Like you can come up, there are so many things that you can come up with. So for us, you could give them a fake scenario, and I'm pretty sure you guys went over them. I don't know if you have or not, but basically have a list of things and be ready to improvise if things don't work out. So everyone basically shared their sexism instance, and then we just started talking and get to know them better. Then when we went back into the main session, you want to keep your stakeholders excited. You want them to stay in your group chat and in your stakeholder group, especially if your meeting is early on. So for me, I told them we're having a Kahoot on the last day of my stakeholder journey. Everyone was so excited. So you could do like fun activities like that. And then I had a social media scavenger planned with that. Unfortunately, I couldn't have the Kahoot. Everyone, some people had finals and everything, and so they couldn't come. And so we moved it forward, but that didn't mean that they weren't still engaging. Then in my group chat, one of the activities I did was word association. I sent a picture, and since my movement, my business was about sexism, I sent the word feminism, and everyone defined it. And stuff like that really starts discussions in your group chat. We had an entire discussion about it. It was like, I think the discussion went on for a full 20 minutes, which was amazing. So do stuff like that. And yeah, I think that covers it. Does anyone have any questions?
Thank you so much, Sylvia. Yeah, if anybody can, has any questions for her about anything, she is a graduate, so she's gone through it. Throw out all the questions. This is your opportunity, your chance to speak with a grad. So if you have questions, you can ask them or think about them. And yeah, you can raise your hand, or yeah, Henry has a question. Perfect. Go ahead, Henry.
So what is exactly the way we stay in contact with our stakeholders? Is it like in a Discord chat, or yeah, how is it exactly?
Okay,
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Yes, I will quickly go over this. Basically, actually, so there you go first, and then I'll explain. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, so for me personally, my group chat was on WhatsApp, so I just went through and you can like see everyone's numbers and just text them on there. I don't know if you guys are doing Discord. I suck at using Discord, so I don't know.
Yeah, so that's something we're still trying to figure out. Because we did start initially on Discord, we're not on WhatsApp at all, like as a group. So yeah, I think that if you are able to engage with, it's kind of up to you how you want to engage with your stakeholders. So it could be WhatsApp, it could be Discord, it could be another channel, another platform that you want to use. Yeah, whatever is comfortable, I think, for you. I think Discord would be ideal just because yeah, like we are on Discord and we're trying to transition everything to Discord. But if WhatsApp is easier, then WhatsApp is okay as well. I hope
Right.
that helps.
Yeah, thank you both.
Costanza, if you want to jump in here and answer anything or add anything to that question, go for it.
Yeah, sure. Of course, if anyone wants to question something, if nothing, like I have one or two advices too.
Yes, go ahead.
Like as Cedra already said, you can have a plan and then someone's gonna say something, like for sure. It happened to me too. And your plan won't work. So what I want you to remember is that even if you have a plan, be flexible. Try to like think of possibilities beforehand or just like be spontaneous. I was mostly spontaneous at one point because just like the people in the group don't know the plan and like someone can ask a question or do something specific and you're like, oh my god, I wanted to do this on day whatever. And you're like, okay, let's go with it. Just do it today. And what I also want you to remember is that, of course, the whole thing is for your business, and that's important. But try to always think as if you're a stakeholder yourself. Because if you join a group to support a business, most of the time you're only engaging when there's something in for you. Like those people, they have a busy schedule, they have a full day. And I remember some stakeholder groups being like, I want you to make this today, and this tomorrow, and today I want you to do this. And I was like, oh my god, girl, come on. I got some stuff to do, and there's nothing that I can learn right now from this. It's like just not useful. So I want you to remember that your stakeholders are people that you have to keep in your stakeholder group. For example, like my stakeholder group was quite big. I have 27 people in it. If your stakeholder group is that big, make sure that the chat doesn't escalate. That's very important. Just be present. Try to remember everyone of why they're there and what the goal is. And also, as Pedro said, talk to them privately if you can. Try to reach as many as possible because it's easy for people to forget or not read a part of the chat because there's like 100 messages and some people are just not reading it because it's so much. And I think that's important, especially if you're doing your meet, if you're doing your session, try to set that meet up as soon as possible because if you just keep pushing it around and then at the end you're like, oh my god, guys, do you have time tomorrow? It's gonna be hard to figure something out, and you want the best for your business, and you want the most people, the more the merrier. You want them to be in the session, and that's why you should figure that out pretty soon. Just so far.
Okay, Cedil has a question. Go ahead, Cedil.
Okay, so how much time did it like take from you guys to keep up with everything in these 2 weeks as I have exams starting, so I'm not sure how much time can I give for those like kind of activities or something.
try to engage as much as possible, of course, because that's in the end, it's all about getting feedback for your business. That should be the goal. Like if you have your thing, try to set up things, and if you don't have that much time, that's okay. You have a life. Just try to put as much effort and time in it as long as you can, because the time with your stakeholders is actually not that long. You're gonna realize that a week has passed and you're like, oh my god, I didn't really get any information or feedback yet. And that is important to remember. Don't over stress with it and you'll be fine. Just like if you also you're gonna get the numbers and email addresses of your stakeholders. That's what the sign up is for. And you're gonna set it up yourself. At least that's how it's been the last few times. And when you do that, you're going to see who is from which country, and you're going to see what time zones they live in. That might be important for your session. That might also be important for your activity. So if you're doing a challenge and half the group is asleep because they're living in a different time zone, that's maybe not that good. I would try to manage to work in a time where they are awake and have some time. That can be difficult, but I guess if you just figure a little bit out, push a little bit your schedule around, that might work. And good luck to you.
So there, would you like to add on to that, like time management and how you dealt with that?
Sure. So like honestly, don't be too worried about time. Like don't try to dedicate a lot of time to definitely dedicate time for it, but not like too much where you're always like trying to basically text people all the time, or like you're trying to just always send activities in. Like Consti said, that is a little bit overwhelming, you know. I was in a stakeholder group, and basically the the stakeholder person kept on sending activities, and honestly it was a little bit overwhelming. So just like keep that in mind. I didn't, so like when planning my activities, I spent an hour on that, like around an hour, and then when doing the actual thing, I would just like go on like probably like 30 minutes a day. So don't be too stressed about that. I don't think it's going to take that much time of your day. But yeah.
It also depends a little bit on how big your stakeholder group is, because it doesn't really matter how many people are in your stakeholder group. Don't be sad if there's just a few people. That's totally fine. You can work with those. Sometimes it's also hard to deal with a lot of people coming from me, with almost 30 people. And whatever that is, like sometimes they will do it by themselves. Like you sometimes just need to give a starter and they will do the conversation themselves, and you don't even have to do anything. So that's also something that might help you. And you can read the chat afterwards. You might just want to look at it a few times in a day, keep checking up, but don't worry too much about it.
I do would add on to that. So like your stakeholder groups are there for you guys. So if you want, you can, I don't know like if they will be down for it, but you can still use them after your journey with soap ends. Like for me, I texted mine a couple days ago and I was like you guys, we can stay in contact and everything. And especially because some of them are soap members that are just starting, you can stay in contact and be their stakeholder. So keep that in mind too.
Thank you guys so much for all the information.
Thank you.
Of course, I mean, I needed it too when I was in that kind of like, I was so confused, not gonna lie. I really needed that too, and there were two graduates doing it for us too. And I feel it's valuable. So if you're done with your business and you're done with so, you can still come back and do the same.
All right, before I go on to the next question for them, does anybody have a question that they'd want to ask? Okay, I don't see any hands up. So awesome advice. I have a question. When you facilitated your journey for the stakeholders, did your stakeholders know exactly what your business was about, or did you kind of keep that from them?
Okay, the stakeholders do have a video, your stakeholder video, and you should already make your message clear in that one. But overall, a lot of people didn't really know what was going on. So I really think it's a good idea to really introduce your business in the chat and not just assume that everyone knows what's going on. Also, if you bring in private people to like kind of engage them with the other people, because that's sometimes hard. But overall, make sure to give clear information about your business, because that's what the chat is about. And do it in the beginning. That's a good thing to do.
Thank you, Cassandra. Sidra, is there anything else that you would add or want to share?
Yeah, sure. So I would say send them your stakeholder video again in the group chat, because I feel like that would really help. Or show it to them on your first meeting. I had my first meeting pretty soon, so I just showed them the video in the meeting. You can do both, but yeah. And also make sure like you tell them like I'm open to answer any more questions like about my business and even explain it to you personally, because that also really helps if anyone has any like questions about your business.
Perfect. Thoraya, I saw your hand raised earlier. Do you still have a question?
No, I was gonna ask what are like key factors that we have to have in the video that are like a must have like about the business.
That's a really good question. Yeah, key factors. What do we need in the video to really make it clear to the stakeholders?
That's a good question. I would say state the problem that you're solving, because that's the base on what it's built on. If the people don't know the problem, they can give you suggestions on how to solve it or how to improve your business. So I think that's very important. Also give you your idea for the business. What does it do? Why does it do what it does? And then just give them like a brief summary about what you think will happen in the future and what you're planning on doing. I think that's the basic.
Oh, thank you.
Would you like to add anything about the video?
Honestly, I would just say like make sure you put your logo in like maybe twice, because it's like, oh, you're pushing them to remember your logo, and that kind of helps with like them remembering your brand.
That is if you already have a logo. I know that a lot of people in my cohort struggle with it. And that's fine. You can still come up with something. Important is that you have something in that video that the people associate with your group, with your business. So put something in that is rememberable, whatever it might be.
Yeah, like there should be an element. It could be the logo, it could be an image, footage of something that they always remember. That's a really good point. Okay. Any other you can literally, this is your opportunity, again, your chance to ask them anything. You know, maybe you can ask them questions about how the expo went, or what, you know, leading up to that, because our expo is happening in 3 weeks. So if you have any questions for them about that, this is your chance to ask. Mhm. Okay, well then I will ask. So yeah, so I feel like, yeah, we have 3 weeks, right? And our stakeholder groups should, you know, we start making the videos this week, we start making the groups next week. What is your advice really through this whole process? Because this is like, we're coming to the end, everything is coming together. What would, yeah, like, what is your advice? What are your tips? What is like the most important thing to remember through all of this?
Don't stress and don't procrastinate. I would say if you just procrastinate on everything, it's gonna get very tight in the end, and there's actually not that much to worry about. Like, it will just go by from itself. You will have your stakeholder group, your video, and that's fine. And then the expo will come around. You will have to write a little tiny speech that you probably also will practice before, maybe meet before, that you can use to practice. And that's all fine as long as you don't stress too much about it or procrastinate on it. So that just keep a cool head and it's gonna be fine. And you're gonna learn how to write that speech and everything. A little advice, just like in beforehand, people love humor. People love a clear idea, something really engaging, something that they can relate to.
Sidra, if you could please share your advice as well.
Honestly, I would say all that Constance said on, like, don't stress too much about it. Yes, it's the expo, but at the same time, try to enjoy it. I remember being so stressed in the weeks of the stakeholders and then getting the pitch done. And I was like totally forgetting about like the whole principle of enjoying it. You know, like, I mean, after those 3 weeks of just doing all the work trying to get the expo done, and then after I pitched my idea, and it was just like I kind of like missed it, missed all of it. Honestly, like you will miss it. Like I was like, because the meetings for me were really early in the morning, so I was like I honestly really do miss waking up at 6 a.m. every Saturday morning for those meetings. So just try to enjoy it. You know, be present, be in the moment. Remember, it's not the end of the world if you don't win the expo. It's not the end of the world if honestly, like your speech isn't the way you expected it, because at the same time you're building knowledge, you're just enjoying, you know, enjoying it. And honestly, you do make a lot of friends through stuff. Like, I mean, I met Constance in a group chat and she's all the way from Germany and I'm all the way in the US. So it's like, you know, like you meet a lot of people from across the world. And so honestly, just having those connections made throughout the self community, it makes the journey way more worth it than you think.
Yes, I totally agree. And I think it's also the thing you should actually focus on. Like, the expo is nothing like an exam or something that you write. I think the whole process, the whole expo is to get attention to your business and to your idea. And that is really what you're aiming for in your stakeholder group, in your video, in your expo. What you should always keep in mind is that what you're doing there will determine how your business will perform afterwards. Like, you don't just stop there. Like, hopefully, hopefully you keep going, and you should try to actually get people to give you good feedback, to give you the stuff you need, give you some connections, do some networking. Like, it doesn't even have to do anything with your business at this point. Doing networking trying to find new friends. Like, come on, these people are from all over the world. They have talents, they have connections, maybe. And that's what's going to help you in the long term. And that's what makes you actually happy, because those people you meet here, they can be your friends. Like, I'm planning a trip to LA right now with 14 people from so, and I'm just excited for that. And that is what you should aim for. That is like, go for it, search yourself some people you can still talk to even when the expo's over. That is your goal. And I also think you're also a winner if you don't win the expo. Because getting this engagement, there's a lot of people in the expo. There is 100 people sitting there watching you pitch it. Like, you have something in front of you, and just getting out the message that you have an idea, that you have a dream, that is so important. And that is what you should go for. So have fun with it, enjoy the expo, and just get some people with you.
I do want to say, after the expo, do try to keep connections with those friends you made, like, and stuff, especially those in new cohort. Like, for me, I am still in touch with my the team that I had. We're always talking about each other's businesses, and that really does help you guys, like, just get in contact with people and stay connected. And honestly, I mean, you get to make friends across the world, and that to me is just awesome.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, exactly. Like the sense of community, people, meeting people, that is like the biggest part of self. And, you know, like these girls here, they're coming back, they want to be part of the community, and that's kind of the goal. So remembering that and remembering that there are people here rooting for you, supporting you, super, like, I think that you guys pretty much like, you know, that's the biggest, like the biggest important thing of self. So awesome. Okay. Well, any last questions or any other thoughts anyone has for Sidra or Constanza? All right. If not, okay, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna move on to the next thing. We're gonna talk more, like, I'm gonna give you some time to think about your video and actually shoot some footage of your video. Costanza and Sidra, let me know if you want to stay on. I do want to respect your time. I don't want to waste any of your time, but if you want to stay on, feel free. I'm sure like they would, you know, obviously appreciate your advice or insight on what we're gonna do next. But if you do need to leave, like that's totally fine. So just let me know.
I actually do have to kind of, because there is another meet later on with the whole SOAP community about Discord, and they sell something called student moderators and M1. And we are going to participate today, so we have to prepare a little bit, and that's why I'm going to go. I will leave my Instagram in the Zoom chat, but if anyone just ever needs some advice or something, like, I'm right here. And you can message me at every time if it's about the expo, your stakeholder group, everything. Or if it's just to, like, you know, you can always use a friend. So I'm right here, and have fun, and good luck with your stakeholder videos and expo. And I'm gonna be there. I will try to be.
Thank you so much, Cassandra. Thank you so much for being here and for all your advice and tips and being so like open to sharing your contact information. All right. Well, I hope you have a great day. We'll see you later. Talk to you later.
Bye bye. Thank you.
So there, do you have to go as well?
I do. I have a class. I will also leave my Instagram in the chat for you guys to contact me.
Perfect.
I hope that I get to meet all of you, and I will try my best to attend the expo. You know, I want to see all of you put your business ideas. Thank you for having me today. It was really awesome to get to be back here and join one of these meetings again.
We appreciate you coming. Thank you so much. And we hope to see you at the expo, and good luck with everything. We will hopefully be in touch soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck, everyone. You got this.
All right. Well, I hope that you guys found that helpful and informational. And again, they have their Instagram. They put it in the Zoom chat. So if you guys do want to contact them, go for it. Okay. Perfect. So now what I want to do for the rest of the time is I haven't spoken to all of you about it, but basically they've kind of covered it. Like the stakeholder video is going to be something that you want to create that is memorable, that is 1 minute long, 60 seconds, about your business. And this is the video that goes out into the community and brings those stakeholders in. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna put you in breakout rooms. Since you've been listening a lot and like hearing a lot, I want you to start like talking to each other, sharing your ideas for a video. And if you do already have some part of your video done, do share that, ask for some feedback. Yeah, and what I want today is oh, actually, sorry, before I do send you to your room, there are sources that you can use to collect like stock footage. I'm going to show you very quickly. So this website called Pexels. And basically you can take, these are like basically free stock photos and videos that you can use in your video. You know, things that you have permission to use that you are not going to get in trouble for using. So any type of images or like footage that you would like to use, there is this platform. I'm sure there are others. This is the only one I know at this point. You can use to create some footage for your video. Okay, so I will share that in the chat. Yeah, okay, so this is what I want you to, yes, Didam, go ahead.
Yeah, I also want to say there's another platform on Splash, I think. It's the same as the one you showed. So you can also, anyone can use that as well.
On Splash, right?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Now, yeah, it's very similar, just like anything you're looking for, you search in the search bar, what kind of things. Hopefully it'll help with your video. Thank you, Dita. Okay, so I'm going to put you in breakout rooms. I want you to share your ideas, share your thoughts about how you want to create your stakeholder video. And then I also want you to record some footage in this moment for it. So it doesn't have to be the whole video, of course, but I do want you to record some footage or create some footage. And when we come back, I do want to see at least like 15 seconds of something. Okay, so I'm going to give you some time to go ahead and do that. We're going to come back in 20 minutes. Maybe I'll give you more time, but you can, you know, create some type of footage and then I want to see it and maybe we can share it as a group. We are a small group right now, so I think we have time to share each other's footage. All right. Any questions before I put you into rooms? Okay, I'm gonna open the rooms. Go ahead and speak with your partner who you're with in the room, and I'll see you back here in 20-ish minutes. with footage. Have fun. See you soon. All right, welcome back. Okay, so does anybody want to share some footage? How did it go? How are you guys feeling?
Can I ask you something?
Yes, go for it.
So, I tried to do the video like a couple of days ago, but I actually sent it to you, but I don't really like it. So I'm trying to do it again, and I would like to do like, I'm, I, I would like to use Prezi. I don't know if you know what it is, but it's like,
Yeah.
so you wouldn't be able to see me. Is that okay? If I do like a presentation and ends up like being a video? And where I explain it, because I think it will come up better.
Okay, yeah, you can definitely use Prezi. Yes, you don't have to be in the video. I do think that sometimes it does help, but I can understand if you guys don't want to be in the video. Yeah, so that does work, and yes, you can definitely redo it. The idea is like I really would like for you guys to have the video finished by tomorrow night, because I do want to be able to send out your videos so you can start getting people and you can start that journey as soon as possible.
Yeah, that's okay. I think I'm gonna be able to do it.
Okay, perfect. Anyone else?
I actually have a question. So I'm not really good at editing. So if anyone has like any suggestions for editing apps for a video, please write them down in the chat.
The only like video editor I've ever used is Final Cut Pro, and it's like a level up from iMovie on the Mac. But I'm sure there are much easier apps now to use. I haven't made a video in a long time. Dinam, do you want to tell us a little bit about what you just sent?
Yeah, sure. So I don't know how to pronounce it either, but it's an app for your phone or your iPad, I think. I'm not sure. Where you can edit just like from your camera roll, you can insert it, and it's really easy. Like there's not a lot of detail to it. You can cut, you can put sound on it, you can add text. It's pretty easy. The only bad thing about it is that there will be a watermark if you don't get the full version.
Thank you. Henry, could you share more about Power Directive?
Yeah, so when I was really young, I like made YouTube videos, and I remember using Power Director on my phone because it was like the easiest program you could use to like make videos. And I still would recommend it because it was just like really great. nowadays, like one of my hobbies is video editing. So I use like a professional program. I use Adobe Premiere Pro, but it's nothing for beginners. So like I wouldn't recommend it. I think Shahad also told me she used Animaker. Maybe that's also something for some people if they want to like make a video more easily. So yeah.
Thank you, Henry. Okay. Anybody want to share their footage or even describe what they want to do? Shahad, go ahead.
Yeah, I just made 37 seconds of my video, and I kind of need help with the rest of it. So can I send it on in general so that, like, for your feedback?
Yes, please send it. If it's okay, if you could send it and we can watch it, I can share my screen.
Yeah.
You can watch it. Yeah, so send that. While we're waiting for that, Nashville, what do you want to say?
Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so I don't really know how to edit videos or make my own videos, but like recently I remembered my friend from high school. He makes like small films and stuff like that. So he's going to make my video, which I'll film tomorrow. But like you said, he uses such things as video mixer, and I don't know if like you guys want to look it up, because you can even take like small clips from the internet and then just put them like a small cartoon that goes along with your presentation.
Awesome. Perfect. I'm gonna write some of these down. If you want to add, go ahead and add to the general chat, just so we can remember them. Yeah, it's very helpful. Okay, so we have Shahad's video. Let's watch it. And let's watch it, and then we can give some feedback on the chat. All right, awesome. Anybody have some feedback for Shahad? Yes, Anita.
I mean, I was in the call with Shahad, so she also already knows the feedback, but I think it's something for everyone, because if some people already have like a website prototype, I think it could be good to show like at least a screenshot of it in the video, like say, this is like a prototype of my website, or this is how my website is gonna look. And maybe that's something to include in the video. So yeah.
Yes, I agree. Like some bits and pieces of your prototype of your website or app, kind of throw that in there. And like as Costanza, or no, as Sidra said, she was like, put some logo. And if you don't have a logo, that's okay. Maybe some images that relate to your business. Put that in there so that like your stakeholders remember it and they associate those images with your business. Okay. All right. So I know that it seems like not all of you have some footage, which is okay. Maybe you do, but please do send it to me and send it in the chat so you can get some feedback. You know, feedback is really, really helpful. So send send anything that you have, and so we can like talk about it, make comments, and then want to make sure that like the video captures the essence of your business. Okay. So really quickly, what I also want to do is talk a little bit more about the stakeholder journey. The girls, they talked about it. They talked about their journeys a bit, activities, improvising, things like that. In the next week, starting today, you have to start thinking about ways that you want to keep your stakeholders engaged. What activities will you do? What kind of questions will you ask? What kind of things will you initiate, start a conversation? Because it is important to keep those people engaged for the whole 2 weeks. So does anybody, I have spoken to some of you about this on our mentor calls. So if somebody could share something that they're thinking about doing during a stakeholder journey, and of course, this is like what you think is most appropriate for your business. So if you think it's better to talk to people one-on-one versus group, that's totally fine. If you think that you want to structure your journey this way because it's more, you know, more fitting to your business, that's okay. This is not everyone's journey is going to be the same. Like, no way, because your business is super different than everybody else's. So you're going to have different takes on your journey. Okay, Cynthia, please share with us.
Okay, so I was thinking about making a group, and it's going to be either on WhatsApp or Instagram, because I'm not good at Discord at all. So yeah, I'm going to ask them like to send their Instagram accounts and numbers when they sign up for the Stakeholder. And yeah, that's what I thought about till now. I have other things to like keep in mind, but like nothing is really, you know, complete in my mind right now.
Yeah, Henry, go ahead.
So I actually wrote some things down when the girls talked about the stakeholder things that I thought that would be appropriate for my stakeholder groups. And I think I'm going to create a Discord server, because I already have like some experience with that. And I think it's going to be like the easiest way, because like most of the people in my stakeholder group will probably be from the South community, and like everyone from South has Discord, because like we have like the Discord server as the main thing. So I think this will be the easiest. And one specific thing I also thought about doing is like having one like activity in form of like a chat at a specific time every day. So it's like not that time consuming, and they can like prepare for it and make some time for it. So because they know that it's like at this specific time every day. And then maybe like do like a survey in form of like sending a message and then letting them react to it, or like elaborating in the chat, like some things that are not that exhausting and time consuming, but still get me quite a lot of feedback. Because like in the end, those like people in your stakeholder group also have like a life, and they are not like living for your stakeholder group. So you kind of still have to respect that and like keep that in mind.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really important to be transparent and clear to your stakeholders. And yes, exactly. You have to respect their time. So you don't want to be giving them to me like homework or assignments. You want to make sure that like you're doing something that is engaging for them, but also, you know, not too time consuming. So awesome. Do keep in mind that I have to be in your groups. So if you do choose whichever platform to use, I do have to be included in that group, because I won't be like annoying or say anything, but I have to be there to like monitor, I guess. So yeah, keep that in mind. Okay, awesome. Does anybody have anything else they want to share?
I want to say something else. Like two things that the girls who talked about their stakeholder group said that I find really, really important. The first is like finding a fitting time zone, because like they mentioned, like if half the group is asleep, or it's like 5 a.m. in the morning for like mostly everyone, it's not like the best time to choose. So you want to have an eye on that. And also what's like a pretty specific thing, but I also thought, like, because I think it's so much fun, and we do it in school, is having a Kahoot, because like I myself love Kahoots, and I think that's a good thing to have, because like the people are excited for it, and it's not like having like homework or something, but it's something that's really fun. So yeah, just wanted to like repeat those 2 points, because I thought they were so important.
Yes, thank you, Henry. Those are very, very good points. Yes, the time zones, be sure to ask them where they are, what the time zones are, so that you can like come to a middle point for everybody. So everyone is engaged at a certain time. And yeah, yes, the Kahoots. Kahoots are super, super fun. So yeah, that's a good way to like keep people engaged and like keep a sense of like competition, but also it's fun. So really good. Right. Anybody have any questions? Anything that needs to be cleared up? Okay. So basically, the first thing that needs to be done is your video. Videos need to be turned in by tomorrow night. Then I will create the form. I will post all your videos, and then you will have to wait, and we will see who signs up to be in your stakeholder groups. So while you are, this next week, we don't have mentor calls. So this is like, you have to make sure that you spend time working on your stakeholder journeys, putting, thought into what you want to do for the 2 weeks, questions you want to ask, things you want to know, activities you want to do. Make sure you plan those out so that when you do have your groups, you are ready and prepared. Okay, so get your videos in tomorrow. I'm really excited to see them. And then we will start the stakeholder journey very soon. All right. Okay, and the last thing before I forget, shout outs, of course. So go onto the channel. Before we leave, please do give a shout out to anybody and everybody. Showing them appreciation, showing them how cool their prototype is, or how cool their business is, or thanking them for some advice or help or anything like that. So go for it. I'll give you a couple minutes to do. All right, everyone. Really great job today. Really good insights, and thank you again for being here and for being engaged and for bringing your amazing perspectives. Please finish the video tomorrow night. Please send it my way, and then we can start our journeys, stakeholder journeys. All right. Hope you have a good rest of your weekend, and I will see you all very soon. Bye.
Goodbye.